Hello everybody, welcome to another Saturday video, and this week nothing super interesting happened, so I decided to make a video on how I make sandwich wraps, which are washable and made out of 100% polyester. I'm not entirely sure what the bags or wraps that you can buy currently are made out of. I'm pretty sure they have at least one polyester side or some type of special waterproof treatment. I don't think I have access to that waterproof treatment. Only waterproof treatment that I know of that I can buy is the type you would spray on your shoes and your coat, and I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to go in your food. So I decided to make my own bags out of polyester sheets. These come from the Action because, you know, I'm always there. I'm always up for the action. So these are 50 by 50 sheets. They come in a whole bunch of different patterns. They're called decoration fabric, although I don't know where you're going to use these to decorate because polyester is a very plasticky material. It's not something you want to make clothes out of or anything else that goes on your body because that'll make it very sweaty. Although if you buy something from wish.com or something like an outfit, you are likely to get polyester because it's also fairly cheap. Anyway, so I went ahead and bought a bunch of different ones so I could make a bunch of different sandwich wraps as well. And I was also going to make some bags out of it, like some shopping bags. I think I made a shopping bag earlier and showed a picture on Discord about that, or from that. And so I'm taking 2 sheets from a package. The blue and white spotted one that I have doesn't really go with any of the others, but eventually I end up settling for a pink and white stripe. Now the first thing that we want to do is we want to put the good sides together. Now the good side of a fabric is where the print is the brightest. It's like the front of the fabric basically. You have a lot of fabrics that tend to have a print on one end and then the other side is just plain. There is very easy to see. This one, it kind of bleeds through on the other side, but you can still see that the back is a lot vaguer than the front. So we're going to put the good sides together, and that means that the inside of the bag is currently on the outside. We're going to sew it together as such. And when we're almost done, we're going to leave a little bit open on the one end so we can flip it inside out. So that we, once we're done, we're going to turn the entire thing inside out. Don't worry too much about the seams ripping or anything like that. For the inside, I always use the zigzag stitch. It's supposed to be for like elastic things, but also just like how it makes things a little bit more solid. I also use zigzag stitch on the bags that I'm making, or the bag that I made, so that it's a bit more solid than the regular stitch. I'll use the regular stitch on the outside because of course that looks a little bit better than the zigzag. Zigzags tend to be a very big bunch of thread that you can see. So anyway, I've turned it inside out now. And the thing is, the corners, which I believe you saw me cutting on the inside, so to speak, cutting the corners on the inside, need to be turned out. So for that I usually use a knitting needle. I'll use the blunt side of the knitting needle to get the corner mostly done, and then I'll turn it around and use the pointy side to get the corner out like nice and sharp. At least as sharp as I can get it before it actually, like, I poke through the fabric. You want to be careful, particularly polyester. It tends to rip very easily, so you want to be careful with that. So just gently keep poking until you have a good corner. Then we have a fourth corner that of course hasn't been made yet because we didn't sew that shut. You're gonna have to use your fingers to flip the open bits inward so you can make it somewhat even to the already existing lines, the existing sides, and you put that under the machine and sew that shut. Now we're going to go all the way around the entire thing so that the sides are nice and flat. And when we're done with that, we are going to have to attach the 2 sheets in the middle as well, because otherwise you have 2 loose sheets and they might start moving and shifting, and that makes things really weird and uncomfortable. Maybe, I don't know, maybe have something that rolls around a bit that you're eating for lunch, no idea. So I'm going to try to quilt stitch that a little bit across the middle. I'm going to start in one corner and go across the long way all the way to the other corner. I tend to eyeball this because I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to wear this, so it doesn't have to be super straight. I'm just going to kind of line up the opposite corner to the machine and try to keep it somewhat even as it goes under the needle. You could try making a mark, like a line or something, with some of that the chalk that they use, or some other special thing, or just a couple of pins if you want to do that. Personally, like I said, I just eyeball it because I don't really care if the line is not super straight. I mean, you're just going to put a sandwich in there or some other lunch item, and if somebody's going to sit there and study the exact like direction of your stitches on your sandwich wrap, then I don't know what they're doing with their life, but it's not super important. Anyway, so we're going to do that on both sides. We're going to start on one side, go all the way to the other, and you could take the needle out and like cut the thread and start afresh in the other corner if you wanted to do that. I personally didn't feel like it, so I just like stitched down the one side, the short side, to get to the other corner, and then I went back. It saves a little bit of time. Also, I'm trying to keep it kind of close to the original stitch line right there, but it does occasionally deviate. But the same thing there as with the one that goes down the middle. If somebody notices that and has an issue with that, they need to maybe get a hobby. So anyway, so we're going to go from the other corner way back to where we started. And then we are done. It doesn't take super long to make this. I recorded the entire process and the width, like making sure I had everything ready and stuff like that. It took 35 minutes. In between time I had to go get my sewing needle, or my knitting needle. I dropped it on the floor at some point. I had to find my scissors and all that sort of thing. So it's roughly about 30 minutes per item. And they're really quick to make, so you can make a whole bunch of these. One of those bags from the Action has about 5 sheets in it, so you might want to get 2 of them. So you can get, let's see, that'll be 2, at least 4, and then of course you have the little thirds that you have cut off from the others that you can combine into a whole combined sandwich wrap, which might also be very fun. If you just combine some patterns that don't look a thing like each other, you'll have a very unique product. Anyway, so that is the sandwich wrap done, and as you can see, I'm trying to fold it to make it look good. Just imagine that there's something in it, because currently, of course, I am folding it a little bit tight. Lately, I've been taking omelets with me, and then I'll wrap the omelets in a little bit of kitchen roll paper, and then wrap it inside of the wrap so that the fat doesn't really transfer onto it too much. And you could maybe use it again next day if you're not too bothered by that, or just use a whole different one, whichever you like. Of course, you can make tons of these, so you'll always have something in the wash and something available to use. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you start making some, make sure to let me know and post a picture in the Discord to see what's up over there. I'd like to see your creations. In the meantime, make sure to have a nice weekend. I'll see you again this week, of course, for Stardew Valley and Don't Starve on Friday as well. Make sure to stay healthy, happy, and safe, and bye-bye for now.